business is Canine Social Club.
We offer boarding and daycare currently in the building that you see that we're in now. Later on, we're going to be having an indoor dog park and bar in our other building.
And now is this just for dogs? Do you have other pets here? Do you welcome any more?
We accept only dogs here, specifically ones that go through our behavior evaluation process to make sure that everybody is nice and social and gets along well. Since we are a smaller facility, we don't house as many dogs as some of the other facilities do, so we try to ensure that they have a good fit and that they all get along and play nicely.
Now you guys just opened up how long ago?
We opened February 2nd.
Wow, it's so new.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the business world.
Yeah.
Yep, so we're slowly just ramping up, and as clients come in, we go through the evaluation process for every dog. And as Brie was noting, we do that to ensure that the safety of all the dogs here is a high priority of ours. And therefore, the process just is a quick process for the owners. They come in, they have the evaluation, we ask them some questions, and then we intake the dog for half a day or a day. And that's part of the first day evaluation that we have for each dog that comes in.
It's been very kind of a trickle-in effect so far. We started out with a couple dogs. Now we're up to maybe 4 or 5 a day, 6, 7. People are coming in for tours. They want to see the place. Dogs are starting to become regulars, which is great. We're getting our first boarding dog this weekend, so that's exciting.
Yes, and what you'll see too in the video today, we have Copper here, and we have Cashew. Cashew is actually a brand new dog that started today, and as you can see here, she's nice and tired already, so she's benefiting from, just being out of the house, getting to see and say hi to everybody. Copper's been coming in for a little while now. He's one of our first customers, and yeah, as you can see here, he's going to be very tired for his family when he goes home.
One important distinction that we like to remind our potential clients, especially at boarding, that is that we have 24-hour staffing. So we'll have someone here the entire time that we have any dogs that are going through the boarding.
That really helps the dog in a stress-free environment. When they have to sit in kennels all night, that can really stress them out. So we want to create kind of a home setting where the dog can relax with you and watch, the Olympics on TV or whatever.
We have nice couches in here, a
TV. They can snuggle and do whatever they want. So
Yeah.
kind of replicate what they do at home, and that really helps them settle in and not be stressed out, which is exactly what we're shooting for.
Our facility is, as you can maybe tell, is brand new. This was a blank slate building, just a pole barn that had nothing in it. So the process of renovating took time, of course, that was a little longer than we expected, but we are extremely happy with the outcome. So everything's right now crisp and clean, but we expect that to be dealt with the dogs. They'll do their part to
help break it in.
Right. We're very happy, and I think anybody that would like to come by and get a tour of the facility, generally the best time is maybe between about 8 and 5, or a little earlier than 5, because that's a lot of times when dogs start getting checked out. So, but if you need to come later, whenever, just let us know, and we will gladly show you around.
Yeah, we'd love to. Yeah, we've been waiting to do this.
Now you mentioned there was going to be a new edition coming soon.
Right. So we actually have had recent conversations as of today to kickstart the renovation process, and then the other building on our property is going to be an indoor-outdoor dog park with a bar, and essentially it's an off-leash concept. So it's a socialization for both people and dogs to come, and that will probably hit sometime around the May timeframe. As far as when that will be ready and the doors open, we'll know more as we get started on the renovation of that. But
we'll have a grand opening and a whole big party, letting everybody know.
And it's going to be unique. It's going to be the first of its kind in the eastern Iowa area.
Okay.
There's one in Des Moines, and we're going to be the second in the state of Iowa. So that's kind of going to be kind of the main event. So we're really looking forward to that. Good place for dogs to socialize. Good place for people to socialize. Come in, watch an Iowa game. let your dog run around, get a drink.
Right.
Or like people like you who don't have a dog, they can still come in. It's no fee for them to come in. It is $10 for the dog to come into the park. But you know, people that don't have a dog, they can still come in, enjoy a cocktail or a coffee, and watch everybody run around and play, and get to enjoy a little bit of both sides of them.
Tell me about like a day in the life of a business owner or working with dogs.
So working with dogs, shifts start pretty early. So we get in, staff gets in about 6 a.m. if they haven't been here overnight. We get up, making sure that, the bowls are filled, mops ready to go, doors are unlocked, customers start coming in at 6:30, and then we're open till 8 o'clock. But essentially, the dogs come in one by one as mom and dad are dropping them off. We let them come in, they go in and out, do their business, and then they're kind of just in here running around playing, and we're carrying on with them, cleaning up anything that we need to. And otherwise, while the dogs are here, we work on basic commands, working on, sit and down, common things that parents want to see at home, making sure that they keep up their good manners while they're here. And so that way they learn a thing or two, and through positive reinforcement.
We're really looking to burn some energy for them so they can, when they go home at night, they're nice and tired and they can relax. But we really want to focus on improving the dog's behavior. If it's a jumper, we're trying to get them to stay on the floor. If they're a barker, we're rewarding them for being quiet. Name recognition, want to get them used to coming back when you call their name in case you have to use that in an emergency situation. You want them to be able to react. So we're really targeting each dog's specific behaviors that they need help with, and then we're rewarding them and working on those throughout the day to try to get a better dog for you and also a better dog for our facility. The more you train with them and work with them, the better your facility runs.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about how you guys got to know each other and how your business started.
Okay, yeah. So a couple of years ago, so I've known these guys for a handful of years, and I knew Joel first, and we got connected at a different job that I had back in the day, and we were just kind of talking. We started working together and throwing around ideas that we want better for the dogs, we wanted more for them, but we also wanted a place to kind of call our own. So I had started talking to then Joel and Darin. We all started sitting down, just kind of having some casual conversations about, I want to open a business. I want to be a business owner. We want to do something to leave behind for our kids and our families when we get older. And I've loved playing with dogs since I was little. I mean, it started at a very young age. And I went to school for entrepreneurship over at Kirkwood here in town, and kind of got a business plan together of what we're thinking about doing. And then I sat down with them and gave them a proposition that, hey, I need a couple business partners to go in on this. Do you guys want to do it with me? And after a few drinks and a few chats, we all got together and we agreed that, let's do it. And so that's kind of where it started. We all started looking it over. Darin knew our contractors. We got in connect with him, started talking to a few banks, and got some advice from the SBA and some of those kinds of things, and
all the fun stuff.
That's where we got to be here.
Yeah, she and I had worked with dogs before. We all agreed that we loved working around or being around dogs, but we were kind of just hashing through ideas to bring it all together in the kind of business that we wanted to do. Take a little bit of what we had learned along the way and combine it into something that a business to run the way we wanted to run it.
My involvement really was initially when Brie approached Joel and I was thinking of investing just because I liked the concept of what we were talking about. Didn't know what kind of time I would have otherwise, but the more we talked about it, and I just realized, that sounds like a pretty good idea. There's nothing around the area like this. And I had been to a few other establishments in other cities with a similar model. So I knew it was, kind of a really possible, great business model to dive into. So I decided then to go all in and be a full owner, if you will. And so that's where it stemmed from our, Joel and I have known each other for many years, and then, like Brie said, we met at an establishment, and then from there, the process of, okay, let's go.
Now what?
Now what?
We love dogs. We loved bars. We loved social situations.
How hard
Let's
can it be?
combine it all together
How hard
and
can it
make the
be?
place that we want to have.
Well, and we toured a few places. We'd been to, you know, a Des Moines location and an Omaha location to kind of get a feel of, is this going to be successful? Because, you know, there's a bunch of doggy daycares and boarding facilities in the area, but not one that's similar to us. We wanted to make sure that it was going to be a reasonable idea to pursue. And the customers loved it. The places that we went to, we talked to some of them, and there was tons of dogs there having fun.
And then reality. The reality of opening a business. That's what one learns if you've not done it before. You just don't know what to expect. And we sure.
Yeah, we're
we had-
new
we had
business
ideas.
owners, yeah.
We had ideas, and we did put together a solid business plan. We were really happy with that. So we spent a lot of time working on that, and that took months, you know, to get through that and to really understand what we needed to do there. And then the process of finding the properties. And how we landed here was more by circumstance, because the area, the closer you get to Iowa City, it's just, you know, it can be cost prohibitive, and it was for us. This place, this location, Brie had saw that it was for sale and had been for sale for a while. So we reached out to the owners and worked up a deal with them and went through that. We scraped together enough to put a down payment down on the place. Then we had that, and then we had to go through the process of acquiring enough money for a loan to renovate. That's a whole other step. And again, we worked with our banker on that because there were needs that we just couldn't tackle on our own financially without getting involved with the SBA. So that process then can take a long time because, you know, a government agency has, you know, many requirements that actually took probably about 9 months longer than we expected. For any small businesses starting, you know, one recommendation would be to really reach out to the small business community, however that is. You know, we weren't sure of what was available to us. You know, we did some outreaching, could have done more, you know, to learn more and to learn more from those that have gone through the process. We eventually got to the point where the funds were finally available. We got the loan that we needed and then started the renovation process, and that also can take longer than one expects for various reasons. We had to change our opening date probably 4 times, you know, once we got the loan. Before we got the loan, we thought we would already be open by the time we got our loan, and that had to change. So the process just requires really a lot of input from others. That the more you can learn from others that have gone through it, the better. So we are excited. We're part of the Economic Alliance, and we're excited to give back as far as what we've learned in whatever capacity that is for any other small businesses that are starting, and how we can help.
That's really great advice. Yeah.
Long story short, from the time we said, let's do this, to the time we opened our doors was about 2.5 years. And we're still 3 months away from being fully open. We're halfway there. We still got another phase 2 of our construction, then we'll be ready to hit the ground running with the full show.
The fun side will open up in the spring, right?
Yes.
The main attraction.
So what is one way that we can support your business?
So we have a fantastic website that Darin has put a lot of work into. We also have a Facebook and an Instagram. Like most people say, like, share, and subscribe. You know, if you don't have a dog, but your neighbor has a dog, you know, let them know that we're open. Word of mouth is huge.
Spread the word, tell your neighbors, tell your friends.
People that are traveling here, you know, that are out of state, will still take their dogs if they're coming into town. We are just located like 1.5 miles north of the airport, so we're really close to the airport. So if anybody's coming in and out of town, you know, they can
very
see
convenient
us
for
there.
boarding. Drop your dog off, go right to the airport.
Yeah.
Along the way, if anybody also has recommendations, I mean, we're new to small business ownership, and we would love, you know, feedback as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, thank you for
your
having
time.
us.
Yeah.